It is 1:30 Universal Time. I'm Jim Tedder in Washington. United States Assistant Secretary of State Christopher Hill will travel to Asia Thursday to meet with allies about North Korea's missile tests. He will travel to Beijing, Seoul, Tokyo, and Moscow, although his plans might change. Mr. Hill is urging North Korea to return to six-nation talks to end the North Korean nuclear crisis. At the White House Wednesday, President Bush condemned the missile launches. He said North Korea has separated itself further from the rest of the world. European and Asian leaders have also condemned the North Korean action. United States Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld says the fact that North Korea's long-distance missile launch failed does not reduce the threat of its weapons program. The long-distance missile fell harmlessly into the Sea of Japan shortly after it was launched Tuesday. But Mr. Rumsfeld says this does not change the nature of the launch. He said the tests represent a threat to United States interests and its allies in Japan and South Korea. Mr. Rumsfeld says American experts are examining information on the launches. He said he does not think North Korea would launch such a costly missile if it meant to destroy it after such a short flight. Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki says his government must be involved in the investigation into the killing of 4 members of an Iraqi family. One of the victims, a young woman, was sexually attacked. On Monday, a court in the United States charged a former soldier with murder in connection with the case. Other American soldiers also are being investigated. Also Wednesday, a group claiming to hold a Sunni Arab member of Iraq's parliament has made demands for her release. The group called for a plan to withdraw coalition troops from Iraq. It also wants an end to Sunni attacks on Shiites and the release of Iraqi prisoners. In Baghdad, a bomb attack killed 6 people and injured at least 14 others. United States lawmakers have ordered Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld to provide information about a soldier involved with the Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq. The soldier says he was harmed for reporting wrongdoing that took place at the prison. Lawmakers have legally demanded that all documents related to the investigation be handed over by July 14th. They said they made the demand after Mr. Rumsfeld failed to respond to a March letter asking for the same information. A spokesman for the Department of Defense said Wednesday that he was not aware of the legal demand sent to Mr. Rumsfeld. Israeli tanks have pushed through the northern Gaza Strip to stop Palestinian rocket attacks into Israel. Palestinians have reported seeing Israeli forces moving just hours after militants fired a second rocket at Israel's southern city of Ashkelon. Since the rocket attack, Palestinian medical officials say Israeli shells have killed a Hamas militant and a policeman. At least 7 Palestinians were wounded in the attack. The Israeli military says it also carried out an airstrike in Gaza. Reports from the area say at least one person was wounded when a car was caught in crossfire between Israeli and Palestinian tanks. You are listening to the news in VOA Special English. Mexican presidential candidate Andrés Manuel López Obrador says the disputed presidential election in his country is a threat to its security. He made these comments Wednesday as Mexico's Federal Electoral Institute began examining ballots to find the winner. The results from Sunday's election are too close to call. Both candidates have declared victory. Some supporters of López Obrador have threatened violence if he does not win. The election dispute has raised concern that Mexico will return to its past of unfair elections. The Federal Electoral Institute must declare a winner by September 6th. Police in Brazil are searching 2 areas of Rio de Janeiro for a drug leader suspected of ordering the killings of at least 10 people. Security officials say their forces invaded areas of the city Wednesday in search of Tiago Teixeira. Officials think this 21-year-old criminal group leader is linked to 10 murders that took place in the last week. The bodies of the victims were left in cars as well as in a waste area. The violence is reportedly the result of competition between 2 criminal groups. Rio de Janeiro is one of the most violent cities in the world. World oil prices have hit an all-time high in New York trading on Wednesday. The price of crude oil for future sale rose more than $1 to reach $75.40 a container. Experts say the North Korean missile tests raised concerns that oil supplies to Asia might be affected by tensions in the area. Prices have also increased because of concern over delayed negotiations of Iran's nuclear program. This delay could suspend oil supplies at a time of strong demand. Astronauts on the American space shuttle Discovery are preparing for Thursday's planned landing on the International Space Station. They spent most of Wednesday inspecting the space vehicle for possible damage caused during its launch. The Discovery crew deployed a 15-meter-long arm with a camera and a laser to inspect the shuttle. So far, officials say no major damage has been discovered. In sports news, France has defeated Portugal at the World Cup football competition. France won the game 1-0. France will now play Italy for the World Cup Championship in Berlin on Sunday. Thousands of people in France have poured into the streets to celebrate. And now briefly, here again is the major news of the hour. United States Assistant Secretary of State Christopher Hill will travel to Asia Thursday to meet with allies about North Korea's missile tests. United States lawmakers have ordered Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld to provide information about a soldier involved with the Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq. And Mexican presidential candidate Andrés Manuel López Obrador says the disputed presidential election in his country is a threat to its security. That's the news in VOA Special English. Jim Tedder reporting.